You're looking for JIMS stools, and this film he did today, just an hour ago.
So in this video, I'll take you through what you should and shouldn't be looking for in a record imp number 80 vice. We'll start off with a horrible one. You don't want to bother with these. Doesn't look like a nice plate, very clean, isn't it? Been kept oil, I think, this one. It's different here again. It's got the writing, and that's quite pristine, isn't it? But this bit's round.
This is a film for Jim. Jim's Tools. He's just made a fantastic tutorial and a video about the record imp. Now I've learned when I go looking for any particular tool, I hit the oldest book I've got, which is a 1920. It's simply the oldest book, and I tell you what, it's frightening the amount of tools that I come across, and I go looking for them and I find them in here. Well, anyway, first of all, let's find record. It doesn't mean it didn't exist. It doesn't mean, look, there's a Parkinson's Wright and Parrell Bulldog vice. It just means that they're not in this toolbox and these weren't dealing with it. No, with them, weren't supplier of those. So I sort of went looking in the vices, and I didn't find anything much in the vices. So I thought, okay, no problem. Let's keep looking. So then I know Buck and Hickman have dealt with records a long time ago. So I decided, okay, let's move forward. Let's move to the 1930 book. Hold on a minute. I came to the 1930 book, and I found, at least I did find the name record. Oh, right, okay. So let's have a look. 1930 for record heavy duty vise, record steel vise. There isn't much of a choice in here. This one here, there's one there. Parker vice, Parker's vice. So, a handy parallel vice, yeah. Some of them, the perfect vice. So it wasn't in here, 1930. Is this the... No, I thought it was this. But maybe that was the one before it, or this what gave them the idea. There is a record, they call it Autovice. It's not the same, is it? No. Okay. Some Sonovice. Look, wrought iron. I just love the drawings and how they did things. But anyway, no worries. No worries. So we didn't happen to find it in... Buck and Hickman weren't peddling it in the 1930. No big deal. So then I thought, right, we'll have a look at the 1935 book. Yeah. And look what I found. Look what I found in the 1930s book. Let me see if we can get rid of the shadow. Here we are, and watch the prices. That is the record. No. Did I find it? I have found it. It's not the imp. It's in this book. Hold on, let's change the page. Did I find it here? I did. I think I did. Hold on, let's search a bit more. Hold on, I'll come back to you. My mistake. 1935. Perfect. Somewhere. I thought I'd seen it here. Hold on a minute. Let's have a better look. where, see, they're dealing in record vices. The name has come up, look, hair vices. Record vice there. Record vice there. I was convinced I'd found the imp in here. Hold on. Auto vice, that's right, found. Similar, but not the same. No. No. But it doesn't mean it didn't exist and it wasn't there. It just means it just happens to be not in this book. There we are, yeah. Hold on a minute. Right, stay there. Okay, so we've moved to 1958. We've moved to 1958. That one is still here. Vice, there we are. The record imp. That exact vice is here. Wow. We found it. At least we found it, and we found it in a book. It's great when you find it in a book. You can research it. Now, I've got lots of books. I'll look all through them. Let's see if we can get a really close look at... Look, it is a record imp, isn't it? And you see what it's sort of showing? Yeah. You were on about this corner, weren't you? The difference in the corner. Yeah. Number 80. Yeah. What's it say about it? Record imp table vice. Yeah. A sturdy and compact vice for general use on benches or tables. It will also grip small tubes and bend rods. Yeah. Red. It weighs 4¼ pounds. Opening the jaws is that much? 35 shillings each. Yeah. So we found it. Woohoo! Like, so now we like to trace it or to follow it. So here we are in. We've definitely identified it in this book, which is the 1958 Buck and Hickman book. Ooh, so the great thing is we found it. So let's follow it. So the next book to have a look at. It's the way, that's why I love these books. I saw it just. Hold on. Don't tell me I'm lost again. No, it's here, right. So let's have a look at this one. This is the 1964 book. So we've positively identified it in this book. And here it is, look. The record imp. Yeah. Oh, wow. What are they saying about it? Again, it's a sturdy and compact vice for general use on bench or tables. Will grip a small table and bend rods. It is a hardened jaw, yeah. Finished in red enamel. Oh, look, it even tells you the colour there. Or this one was in red enamel. The price has gone 39 shillings and sixpence. Yeah. The record imp vice. And they're pretty early on in the books, so the priority must be, you know, when you're making a workshop, you've got to buy a vice first before you do anything else, before you go into spanners and whatever else is in the book, yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to have a little scout about to see if it pops up anywhere else in a few of the other books that we can positively identify with a date. Yeah, but I do love my books, and part of finding older, you know, vintage tools is part of chasing them and finding them. Where was that now? It was here, wasn't it? Just a minute ago. Yeah, and positively identifying them and on a date in a book. It sort of adds another. You've got to find them, you've got to clean them, you've got to repair them, you've got to paint them, and then you've got to chase them down in the books. Yeah. I knew I had one somewhere. This one is the 1971-72 book. And look, it's still going strong. It must have been yeah, there we are, look. It must have been a very popular, and look at the price has changed now, £2.80. Still weighs the same weight, finished in stove enamel red. Yeah, still the same, look. But slightly sort of clearer sort of picture, but just shows you what they are, what they're peddling, and what date, what picture they're using. Yeah, so there's the imp. Yeah, the record imp vice. Yeah. And I am a bit of a geek, and this one was in the 71, 72, so it spanned a good old time. It was very popular, seemingly. Because if it wasn't, it would have gone in the book. Wouldn't have gone in the books, would it? So we found it in the Randall's book, Bedford and Luton. Yeah, look, it's here, going strong. Yeah. The record imp table vice. Yeah. Here we are, look. What's the price of it? £39.06. This is the drawing they're using. Stay still. That page is going to slam on us. Look. Here we are, look. It looks like it's got that plate on it here, look, with the screw. That's the picture they're using. Wow. Yeah. Record imp. And that was positively identified in the Randall's Limited. It doesn't say inside. We haven't got a date for this one, so we're not that sure. Can you see a date? No. We can't date this book, can we? No. Okay. Let's keep searching. Popular. This is the HSS book. We dated this one 1940, and again we've positively identified it, and here it is, look. The record imp, light precision work, yeah, 32 shillings. Record imp. Yeah, there's the number there, look. What's changed? It seems to still have the screw. Oh, you see the name is printed on the side of this one now, look. It's just the funny little things in the pictures. Yeah. Record imp. That autovice is still going strong. But yeah, we've got the record imp here. Ooh, let's see what we can, let's see if we can find it in any more books. And here it is, we found it again, yeah. The record imp. Yeah. It's gone to £13 now. Well, the date on this is from 1875 to 1975. So I don't know what date. It's certainly jumped in price, hasn't it? That collar around the end seems to have disappeared. Oh yeah, there's that sort of square looking one-ish sort of thing here, as you mentioned. But it's great. There we are, look. It's great to find it again, isn't it? Chasing it through the books. And this was J. Russell group of companies. Yeah, London. Oh, come on, let's keep looking. Oh, it was a really, really long-lasting. We've got ourselves the Buck and Hickman book, the 1982 Buck and Hickman book. And look, it's still here, hanging on. That plate's disappeared. This has changed slightly. Yeah, on this, in this picture, you can only go by the picture. Look, the writing's gone off the side, and they're not showing the writing down the side as well. It's saving costs or something, I suppose. I don't know. Look, still calling it the Imp though, aren't they? Medium duty. Ideal suited for the instrument maker and the model maker and the jewellery. Yeah, the bender at the bottom, yeah. Pipe jaw. Blimey, how much? £14.30. Come on, I want to find it in some more books. This is the Buck and Hickman 1982 book. Again, we've got it again. This is the Buck and Hickman book 1961. So we've positively identified it is the Imp. It is the Imp, look. I don't know if these drawings seems to have the screw there, look. Whether the drawing is correct or they nicked the drawing from the book before. The price is 37 shillings and sixpence. Blue stove enamel. Oh, now hold on, hold your horses. This says it's in blue stove enamel finish. Oh, that might be interesting. You have to look and watch and see. It's definitely the Imp, isn't it? It's definitely the record Imp. Yeah. Still, again, no writing here displayed. And what does that look like there? Blimey. Oh, it's got the number here, down here, look. Because I think some of these are hand-drawn pictures and not actual pictures. Anyway, ooh, look at that. That's positively identified in 1961 book. Let's keep digging. I want to know now. Oh, we found it, look. We found it again in the B.E. Dean Limited, Nottingham, 1973. It's still going strong, look. Wow. You know, I think it's in most books. I think it's bread and butter. These vices of one sort or another are the bread and butter of these books. Everybody's trying to flog you a vice, yeah. Bench vice, yeah. Does it mention a colour? No. The price is £3.25. Is there a posh version and a non-posh version, do you think? Is that the same as that? What does that say there? Is that a record? Ooh, no, that's not the record. That's not the same one, is it? No. Yeah, one's table vice. One's table vice. £2.45. And the Imp, the record Imp. So the Imp is the more quality. You could buy a cheap one, but this record Imp is the more expensive version, the more quality version, you would think. It's got the writing down here. Where's my finger? It's got the writing there, hasn't it? Is that a stamping or a label? Oh, is that a stamping or is that a label? Yeah, there's no writing up the side here displayed. Anyway, we found it. We found it again. And the date on this one is 1973. Let's find some older books. Got it in Norton. We're not sure of the date of this one. You might, oh no, 8081. So in 8081 book, the Norton book, Tool Division. We've got it here, look. It's a very popular vice. Everybody's, what's the, oh, it's gone up, £15.70 here. Yeah. Jaws opening, doesn't say light precision work. The Imp, the record Imp, look. Oh, this, like you mentioned, this bit has sort of changed. This bit of the casting here has changed, look. Yeah. Is that a label or is that stamped in? But anyway, it's great to just imp vice, look. It's bread and butter. All these firms, all selling one vice or another, but it seems to be they're all trying to flog you a vice. And this was the 8081 book. Again, we're in Bancroft's. Got a few dealers, garage equipment and work tools. I can't see a date on this one at the moment. I don't want to lose my page. Come on, let's find it first. Let's find it first. Record Imp, look, here it is. Record Imp Vice, yeah. Multiple, does it say a colour? Opening wide, it's £2.66. Was that 6 shillings and sixpence, or is that, are we into metric now, are we? I'm not really sure. Yeah. It still weighs the same, it's still the same number. Record Engineer's Vice. Here's the picture of it. The imp. Oh look, that plate thing is here now. Ah, look. Let's it's a pink page. The colour on this is a bit off because they're pink pages. Don't know why. Let's try and find a date on this book. We don't have a date, but garage equipment and workshop tools, Bancroft, Briley Hill Street, Birmingham. Branches at Coventry, Derby and Wolverhampton. Let's see, I've got some books. Let's see if it made it north of the border, because I've got some Scottish books. Here we are, we found it. This is in the George Boyd, 1966. And here we are here. Back to shillings, 42 shillings and sixpence. Does it have a colour? Bench table, no, it doesn't have a colour on this, does it? It doesn't mention colour. It's got that little plate thing. If this picture is correct, that's the thing, you don't know what picture they've chosen to use. Record, the number is there. Yeah. I don't know if you'd see any difference. But yeah. It's still called the Imp, yeah. Everybody wanted one of those in their books. Some light precision work. Yeah, even though it's funny how some of them all describe it a little slightly different. But anyway, we've positively identified it in 1966. in a George Boyd and Company Limited book, yeah. So I can't find the ices in this one, the Brown Brothers, but I have got another one. Somebody spoke to me that knew where Brown Brothers, or worked for Brown Brothers, or delivered to Brown Brothers. I can't remember who. I'm trying not to go off topic and but the pictures of the cars and the date of the equipment that they're using here is amazing. This Brown Brothers, you go and have a look, flick through it, the cars they're using to display. Is that a ghost? Yeah. Is it a ghost? Yeah. You know, it's these toolbox are absolutely gorgeous, and the paintings and the drawings and then the displays and the vehicles they're showing with. What's that? What was that van in there? We've got minis here. What is that? Is that a comma van? What van is that? Anyway, come on, we're going off topic. We're chasing vices. I can never get my nose out of these books. Once I open them up, I look at them and I can never stop looking at them. I'm up here all night now, just looking at these. But these people weren't mad keen on vices. These people didn't want to sell you a vice because they sell you a crane for the back. They didn't want to sell you a vice. These people, probably too heavy to carry around, isn't it? Hey, yeah. Come on, let's not get distracted. Brown Brothers book. I can't recommend to you highly enough the Dominic Tineer books. Fantastic for the history, you know. Fine, if you're looking at something and you want to see how far it goes back and when it was first sort of invented. He's the guy off the barn, isn't it? And this Dominic Tineer book. I can't see any vices in it in the moment, but if you come across this book somewhere, grab it, because it's such an interesting story, where, you know, look at your wrenches, your pipe wrenches and your monkey wrenches, and it tells you all about it. We've done films on these in the past, haven't we? And spanners and all that sort of thing, screwdrivers. Yeah, so whilst I've got it in my hands, I have to recommend you this Dominic Tineer toolbook. Fantastic. Give it one more spin in the book. Do you think it's here, Buck and Hickman? I wonder if it's still hanging on here in these books. Yeah. Record. I wonder, is that where record changed from being a red to a blue, do you think? It did mention a colour change, didn't it? Yeah, anyway. Way too modern a book this is, yeah. Oh, just as a closing on the books, today I went on a journey. I'm a trucker. I know the trucking routes. I know where all the trucker calves are. I know where all the low bridges is. It came in as a conversation. We went a certain way, and I said tonight, I'd never go this way as a trucker. No way. And I showed him the railway and the low bridge, and I showed him this book. So if you're not a trucker, but you want good value for your, you know, you want to know, make your way around. It's just a map. It's a big map. It's a large scale trucker's atlas. Look, 1.5 miles to the inch. But what I'm telling you, look, if you want, there's 230 trucker stops and cafes where you get better value if your services. So if you're a person that goes on journeys and you're forced into the services because you've ate all your sandwiches and you've ate all your sweets and you want to fill yourself up, well worth picking up a trucker's map. Yeah. And it will tell you, yeah, the low bridges, the roads, blah, blah, blah. But it tells you the truck stops. So you can go in, and I'd like to say you get better value, quite a bit better value than cafes connected with places, or definitely better than the services, and you get a bit of crack there. Yeah. So anyway, let me recommend you this book, and let's have a look at the journey we did today. So today, basically, we came up through Lichfield that way, and we were going to Nottingham, and we were coming this way, and this is that. Nige, remember me telling you about this? The trouble is, you get a railway line, and as a truck driver, you're planning your route. You've got to watch for this railway line because it chops you off. 13 foot, that's no good. On a 14.5 foot, yeah, keep going along here. You've only got certain places you can pass. We've got one there at 14.6. You might just get under with a container. We've got a 13.3 there. Yeah, we've got another one that's 14 foot there, which you wouldn't want to be going over or through. We've got another crossing there at 15.3. We went up here. I don't know. I think we went under here somewhere. Where were we? Measham, yeah. We came up through Measham, look. And we came through Aspie de la Zouche. And there is that bridge we crossed on at 13.3. And I said, because Knight says to me, oh, why don't you come this way? Nicer. No way, Jose. Because this, once you get a railway line, you'd be surprised how much, you know, and if you've seen one low bridge, you know this railway is going, and it was built a long, long time ago, and it's got short, shitty bridges on it. Yeah, look. We had to get the other side of it somewhere, somehow. Yeah, the tom-tom trucks, navs. And generally, it don't bother you because you're on a motorway, and you know what I mean. There was two worlds collided today in our journey. Me, a truck driver, uses the motorways. I wouldn't go down these little roads. I wouldn't want to get trapped. I wouldn't be, what's it? And then, of course, we came across the railway, and I said, look, there's a railway running along the right of us. We were coming up through here somewhere. And I said, look, once you find one little bridge, it doesn't matter where you go, you'll keep coming across little bridges that are no good. And I used to run Focus trailers at 16.3. What a nightmare they are, trying to get to a place, not using the main roads, you know. It's mad. Absolutely mad. Let me try and find you a place we go to, and it's where you're delivering is just the other side of the bridge, you have to go all the way up, around, and back down again. Let me find that spot for you. Here it is. Look, we delivered to a spot which is just this side of the bridge here, and because of the railway, you can't get to it. We were by Measham, weren't we? We'd come up off this junction, and we came up. I'm guessing we'd come up here somewhere. And we were making our way, and we came out in Aspie de la Zouche, and we went that way. But look there. So if you want to go the other side of this bridge here with a container which is 14'6", you have to come out. Although this is the shortest, you have to keep on here. You have to go all the way up here. You have to come around the top of it, and you have to get to it that way. And if you know it's from here. Look, you come in here and you come down this road. And if you know, you know. But if you don't know, and you haven't got your height bridge, see, I've put a cross and a mark there for some reason. And as a truck driver, if you know, you know. But if you don't know, you're heading towards it, 14.5, blah, 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 blah. Oh, damn. And that's how you get the wrong side of a railway bridge. Oh, so you have to make your way back here, and you have to come up here and go around. You would never curl around into a place, only if you knew. But there's a place here right by the damn bridge, yeah, that can catch you out for 6 inches. Because 16'6" you can get under. 14'6" you can get under. If you're 20 foot, it's 14 foot. 20 in a high cube, you're 14'6", and you're not getting under that for the sake of 6 inches. And the place is there, yeah. So anyway, and it does show you where the truck stops are and the cafes. Let me find you a cafe. There are, Nige. You come off. If we'd come this way, the A50, come along. Can you see? You get something like the Salt Box. It's a very, very famous truckers' cafe. Yeah. And there's another one here, look. Cafe. So it points out. Come along the A50, drop in here, go to the Salt Box. Really old routes, old roads. Yeah, and it shows you where all the little cafes are, where you'll get much better value. You might not be a trucker. You might not be using trucking routes. But you'll save your money in just finding the best cafes on the way. Pick up a trucker's low bridge map. It's got the Hollies, Greasy Hills, and Trucker's Rest here, look. Yeah. It's even got Dinky's Diner there, look. Yeah, just off the A5. It's even got Dinky's Diner there.